Hello. So in this video, we're going to talk about the phrase due to and how to properly use this. Now, I'm doing this because not too long ago, the MLA, the Modern Language Association, sent out a message, sent out an email to its members, basically with this grammar tip. So we're going to take a look at that and we're going to talk about that and why this may or may not matter. So this is what the MLA had sent out. This is by Barney Latimer. How do I know if I've used due to correctly? And what it says here is due to, meaning attributable to, modifies noun phrases, not verb clauses. If you can substitute attributable to for due to in a sentence, you've used the phrase correctly. If your attributable to doesn't work as an alternative, you need to reword. So the example that they give here, I'm not going to read the whole second paragraph, but that's the basic rule, right? If this is talking about something driven by a noun, something driven by person, place, thing, or idea, rather than something driven by an action, then you're right. So the tennis match's delay was due to the rain. This would be correct because the thing being modified is the delay. So the delay was due to rain. But this phrase, they say, is not correct. The tennis match was delayed due to the rain. So in this case, was delayed is the verb. So this is the action that is occurring. So in this case, we have a noun, the tennis match's delay, a thing, versus was delayed. So this is the basic rule according to the MLA. If this is about a noun, due to works. If it's about a verb, a delay, or was delayed, then it doesn't work. Does this really matter that much? I'm not super convinced that this is incredibly important. I think it's a good thing to know in the way that all sort of esoteric grammar rules are kind of good to know. But if somebody said to me, the tennis match was delayed due to the rain, I would know exactly what they meant. So I think this is one of those things. And this is kind of the larger point that I'm actually interested in here. There is a value to grammar pedantry for an organization like the MLA, for an organization like the Modern Language Association, because one of the things that they do is say, here are the guidelines for people working in English, in modern languages, in many of the humanities. Here are the guidelines for how to write and cite correctly. So they have some sort of vested interest in saying, this is correct, and here is why. But for most of us, I don't think this matters that much. I mean, if somebody, like if I were having a debate with someone, say on Facebook, and I wrote a phrase with due to modifying a verb clause, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. So if I, in that sort of debate, wrote a sentence with due to modifying a verb clause, and I went back and reread what I wrote before posting it to make sure it was correct, I would not say, that's wrong and I need to fix that. Now, if I were writing a scholarly article for publication, might I? In all honesty, no. It's one of those things where, like, okay, this is technically a rule, but it also sort of illustrates how grammar rules are not that important compared to usage. If we say the game was delayed due to the rain, that's not an uncommon usage. It may not be technically correct according to the rules of official grammar, but because it's perfectly effective in conveying what that speaker or writer is intending to convey, I'm not actually convinced that it matters all that much. So I think that's something that's really worth keeping in mind. There are things in grammar and mechanics that I think are important to be aware of, because messing them up can dramatically change the nature of your sentence and what it is that you're actually trying to say. But I think something like the phrase due to doesn't necessarily fit that criteria. I think it's unlikely that you're going to have anyone who is seriously confused about the meaning of a sentence that uses due to moderate a verb clause rather than just a noun clause. And so that's the thing. I mean, I get it. Again, MLA has a vested interest in figuring out what isn't correct. For most of us, most of the time, usage, I think, is more important than grammatical correctness.